Hello, and welcome to my playthrough of Citizen Sleeper. I'm Peach Poncho, and thank you for joining me. I don't know a bunch about this game, like usual. I know it's like really far in the future. It's focuses on trying to escape the capitalist system. You're playing as a sleeper, which I think it's like the consciousness of a person was uploaded to like a robot type situation, and they're supposed to just be like a manual labor, but they're trying to escape. And you have to try to stay alive on a whole other ship, and it's supposed to be like really hard from what I read, like especially early game, but like later on it gets more manageable. I'm not I have to preface this with I'm not like the best at games. I enjoy them, I love them. Do not expect me to be coming out with the pro strats. That's not me. But yeah, I've seen this game in passing, and I thought it looked pretty cool. And yeah, I wanted to try it out. Also, I'm using a different mic, so my audio probably sounds a little different than it normally does. I think it picks up a little too much, honestly. I'm like trying to use my partner's like gaming headset, because I usually use mine, but I wanted to test out his because mine's like a $50 headset, and his it's definitely more than $50. So yeah, sorry if the audio is a little too sensitive. When I was testing it, it was picking up way too many mouth sounds for my liking. So I'll just try not to make any sounds with my mouth outside of talking. I don't know. But yeah, I guess we're gonna jump into it, and I'm gonna try not to have an anxious meltdown over keeping the character alive. Let's see. Operator. An operator works with drones and high-precision remote machines to perform complex tasks from a distance. Sleepers assigned to operator work are usually cerebral and precise people. Oh, this is our character class, okay. Perk. Transfer intercept. Change to gain cryo on interface actions. Skills. Engineer, interface, endure, intuit, engage. Engineer, work with machines and physical tools. Interface, work with digital interfaces. Endure, use strength or strength of will. Intuit, approach problems with awareness. Engage, approach a problem head on. Okay. I love their little character design, it's so cool looking. Extractor. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in hard vacuum environments. Sleepers assigned to extractor work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have high level of endurance. Okay. So, +1 endure, -1 intuit. This one has +1 interface, -1... Machinist. A machinist repairs and modifies automated systems used in industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work are usually diligent, careful, and structured people. +1 with machines and physical tools. -1 approach a problem head-on. Oh goodness, okay. I kind of usually in games lean towards having more, like, strength. Just like being strong in games. I don't know. But I feel like I also usually in games kind of try to do in like I love like in games where it lets you have like high charisma to just use charisma to get out of situations. Work with machines and physical tools. Digital interfaces. I don't know, I'm leaning towards extractor, but I don't like that they have the -1 intuit. Yeah, I feel like my second choice would probably be the machinist. Oh, perk. Chance to gain random scrap item on engineer's actions, and then sunbathe. Dice action allows energy recovery at home. Oh, that's really good. From what I was reading, part of the really challenging part of the game is that you have to replenish energy, and you have to maintain your systems, basically, since you're a machine. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go extractor and just cross my fingers the intuit thing doesn't come to bite me in the butt later. So yeah, we're gonna go extractor. Wait, so we're strong and we're not good at intuit. Does that mean we're like a himbo? Himbo sleeper? Oh, okay. Unknown, where are you? The first thing you become aware of on waking is the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body, forget that body. Aw. Well, you know, we don't have it anymore. There's no use dwelling on the past. Forget the body. You resist nostalgia. It is pointless, especially now. This is the moment to reach out, not curl inwards. This is your moment of escape, even if it feels immediately like you traded one prison for another, smaller, colder, lifeless. Reach out. You almost laughed, or you would if there was room, or even air to do so. The walls of the container are immediately present, cold, hard at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain, at least. Making me get secondhand claustrophobia just reading this. In emergency mode, pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. Remember the plan, remember the others. Who are the others? What's the plan? I vaguely think I know what the plan is, but I'm gonna remember the others because I don't know who it's referring to. I'm assuming like the other sleepers? You remember there were 10 of you. 10 that could no longer stand the indentured work, the routines, the slow decay. 10 whose belief in their promised future was slowly dismantled day by day, until they realized they had sold away everything that could and would ever matter. 10 that would escape, or at least die trying. My compatriots, my comrades in arms. Some were lost in the shaft, others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough. Enough to know that you might no longer be on that grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach any destination. Wait for the cold, try to rest. I'm not gonna wait for the cold. Try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left, surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. Rest. Time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. Warmth, not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from their rigor, sound too everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud that your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. Then light. White as the cold, softer and softer until, in a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. Oh! Yeah, so this is the ship we're on. We have to, like, click around to explore it, I guess? We have no data. And we have cryo, cryptocurrency stored in air-walled sticks in the memory known as chits. We have none. We can only go one place. Dragos, pragmatic salvager. I love the character design in this game. It looks so cool. Anyways, It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swaddled in the reflective folds of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by the angular, incoherent lumps of ship, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all fouled yet? Almost. Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have better perseverance in sub-zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solid to hull plates or inside outer logs in my time. They weren't so lucky. That's so sad. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in makeshift tech, his headset with its glinting eyes the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of his symbiotically linked drones perches, its irising eye locking onto you with an unflinching stare. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment, or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. What happened to them? Stay silent. It didn't last long. I mean, I'm curious what happened to them. I do plan to survive. I plan on doing my best, but what happened to them? He ignores your question. I won't ask what led you to do it, to sell yourself to the corporation. And I suppose you know you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you are just software. A rogue emulation illegally possessing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms, the cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells, the promise of a life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation that these aren't your memories. These are things you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you won't know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SN ARP wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep hold of you, well then, no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it from the other sleepers. Planned obsolescence, a built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you are one of the lucky ones. Dragos glances up and away towards the glassy dome of the yard. The eye is the best place you could be right now. The eye? I wonder why he's being so helpful with us. Like, because he could just try to scrap us, probably, you know? Like, not help us, just be like, oh, I want to take you for parts, but it's nice. Also, oh my gosh, the freaking, horror of wanting to get off-world, signing a contract. It's like, I know I've seen stuff like that in movies before, but, like, I don't know, it's so, like, bleak, and it's, like, something you know the corporations would try to do, if they had, first of all, the capability, and second of all, that they could get away with it. But, like, I don't know, and when you see people talk about, like, stuff like planning trips to Mars, and then, like, having people pay their way with labor, yeah, it reminds me of that. That's what this reminds me of. But, yeah. Anyways, the eye station. And you'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his way. Look, I've got things to be getting on with, he trails off. There's an old freighter container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion? Fatigue? You shakily get to your feet. Nod. Alright. You head on up there. You look like you need some rest, and with that, Drago stalks back to the Rex, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk. Plasma flashes, silhouetting his spindly figure as he returns to work. Welcome to Erlin's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles, during which you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and end the cycle now. Okay. Okay. So this is the empty container. And cycle. You wake, curled up in the corner of the container, and begin slowly assembling the world around you. 4 still walls. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake up in now, strange, disjointed. Its messages readable, but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket close against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you know. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all of this, what matters? Escape, getting answers, building a life. I guess building a life. You technically escaped. I do think it's like this entire premise with this ship is that it's like broken and falling apart. I'm gonna say building a life though. If not here, then somewhere else. Maybe you did get lucky, finding yourself here, maybe here on the edge of everything. There's a life for you to build. But before you can build anything, you'll need to learn to survive. Maybe if you can do that, you can make a life for yourself. Dragos has left a few comforts in the container, the mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some faded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images from your restless sleep come back to you. A ring, like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes, like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you've finished drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best as you can, and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Oh, that's right, you roll dice every day. Forgot about that. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by 1 segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, or lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. 2. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you roll your action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you have used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending the current cycle. Okay. Straightforward enough so far. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll need to find somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When starving, energy loss becomes condition loss, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle. Okay, so we need food, and we need something to maintain the condition. So food and I guess some sort of medicine. And we need actions to get those things, but we need those things to maintain our condition. That gives us more actions. Simple enough, I guess. Okay, so 1, this is our condition. 2 is action roll, and 3, that's our energy. So every cycle it depletes by 2. So by the end of the cycle, we'll be at 0 if we haven't eaten. Ideally, we'd find 3. We need probably at least a minimum of 2. And I don't know how much just depletes by 1 segment each cycle. Okay, so we have a little bit with that. Okay. Was I supposed to move this? I don't know why I'd be able to. Dragos has stood in the corridor when you close up the container. He is still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? I'm not too bad. I could eat. I'm okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the container isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure, I could do work. Do I get paid for it? Alright then, he nods. Out the yard is simple stuff. We hack these old hulls down, sell them off to shipyards or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper you'll be used to the manual labor, and obviously I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Assuming that's just money. Got it. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving as quick as you can, and sleepers, well, he trails off. But things being the way that they are for me at the yard, he pauses. I need help. I'm kind of curious. I want to ask why, but I am happy to, because he did save me. But I'm intrigued. Why? Why do you need my help? Things are a little tight. That's all. I owe a little cryo to a client here or there. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. Will do. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Oh, so I can go to other parts of the... Oh, I can. Passage to the low end. I guess as far as that, go that way. Okay. I don't really have any interest going that far. Dragos' yard. Decaying scrapyard. Oh, goodness. Okay. Actions are the primary way you interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag your chosen action dice to the slot. Okay, that's why I can drag them. Let's see, hole dissection. Even the rustiest hole can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting them means cutting carefully and skillfully. Okay, risky. Manual salvage. It's going to take some time to sort and cut your way through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. Endure. Safe. Oh, okay, so it's safe for me because I'm strong. Actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. So neutral's good, I'd say. Negative, action fails. 100% chance positive. 50% chance positive. Oh, okay. So these are like values for how likely an action is to succeed, I think. So more dots is better. Okay, I think I get that. Actions display information about their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to the action. So, 1, repeatable action. Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. 2, okay, risk. Safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition, energy, or cryo. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Okay. Okay, I think I get that. I know I'm gonna get to this stuff and then immediately forget something important. Danger. Negative outcomes mean condition loss, neutral outcome means cryo or energy loss. So basically, do not want to do anything with a danger level unless it is so important to me I'm willing to lose cryo energy for sure. but I could also lose condition. Okay, skill. The skill that this action requires either engineer, interface, endure, intuit, or engage. Modifier either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice. When slotted, it improves its value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay. Golden Dragos is tied up in something ugly, and if he misses a payment or two, things could get nasty. Back at business, every salvager knows they are always just one lucky haul away from their next payday. Cycle clock? Well, because I'm good at this, so... And it's already safe, so I don't need to spend any good thingies. Oh, okay. Oh, it adds like 1 to the dice. So if I do a 4, it makes it a 5. That gives me a 75% chance it won't spend stuff. Okay, I'm gonna spend that one on manual salvage. Wait. Do I need to do something there, or...? Okay, just didn't register that I clicked. Oh wait, was that good? I must have said positive or neutral. Actions are often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the actions that fill them, and they track your actions and how they affect the world. Filling a clock means something good or bad is about to happen. Some clocks, such as the one tracking Dragos' debt, are cycle clocks. These clocks tick themselves once each cycle, can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. Neutral, okay. I need to find food. Can I, like, leave and come back? Oh, it got me 10 monies. Hope I can come back to that. Oh, I can. Oh. Drives and navigation. In Citizen Sleeper, you will unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. Okay. You can track drives, and any tracked drive will place a yellow marker on locations that help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left of the screen. Should I find a doctor? That would be good. You are now free to explore Erlin's Eye and make a life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you're out of dice. Oh, I can rotate the view with A and D. Okay. Oh, very cool, very cool. Oh, there's lots of things here. Okay, so I can go Dock C4, Rotunda, Wet Dock. Rotunda, Old Dock Terminal. Rotunda, Wet Dock, B2. Bustling Open Market, Bright Dock. Shipyard. Construction yards. Okay, I'm gonna say the best place to find a doctor would probably be the Bright Market, right? I assume. Just going to these places use up stuff. Okay, only if I interact. I can just click and then leave if I want. Danger. Ask for directions. Why wonder when there are hundreds of people that live and work within Bright Market? All you need is the courage to approach them. The smell, sound, and buzzing activity of the Bright Market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but an enticing one too. Okay. And even with my -1 into it, I could do this without being in danger, like that one. So I guess normally it would just be a neutral one. Oh. That is not how you, leave. Follow him here. Didn't know I could turn the music volume down. That's really handy. Okay. Let's rotate. Okay. Dock B2. So I don't think I can do anything here. It has a cycle clock, so something's gonna happen at the end of that cycle. Dock C4. Nothing I can do here. Guess I could go to the market, try my luck there, and then return to the shipyard for to use the rest of my energy if I hopefully don't use all of it here. That's risky. I do a 4. What if I do like a 3? That gives me 2. No, I don't like that. I don't like those odds. It's like a 75% chance it's not negative. Oh, that makes me nervous. Okay. Negative outcome. Okay. Well, I lost energy. Ooh! I really need to find food. Lost in the crowd, you struggle to keep a sense of direction. You sit in an alley, exhausted, with no idea where to go. I do this. That makes me so nervous because it could go really bad. Do I keep exploring? I'm getting so anxious. There's nothing showing up here. Okay, so the blinking yellow dot tells me that's where I need to do something. Well, I might as well, I guess, because I need this to further the story, and I need to find food. Okay, neutral outcome. You manage to follow the flow of people, and you start to appreciate, even enjoy, the chaotic layout of the market. I can't find anything here. So I need to keep looking. Honestly, I'm gonna come back, because I don't know where you find food. Okay, so you have to pay to go somewhere else. Okay. Oh. You don't have connections, but you do have skills. You can get a shipbuilder to notice them you might be in. As a newcomer, you can only gain favor by grabbing a load of materials and asking the nearest yard hand where to take them. That could be really bad. But it could be also really good. I don't even know if I need to be doing this. I'm assuming I just get money there? I just want someone to feed me. I'm gonna be starving at the end of the cycle. I feel like I'm gonna die like my first try. I'm gonna have to try again. Okay, let's just help him some more. Maybe he'll feed me. It's safe. Plus 10 cryo. Okay, well, I'm out of dice. Yeah, it's time to go home. Yeah. Sunbathe. Oh! Oh! I didn't realize I could. I knew I could, but I didn't know I could, use a dice. So I need to save those. So I can do that. At least save one. Okay, well, we'll do that next time. Complete all active scenes. You aren't finished with the cycle. Complete active scenes to proceed. What do you mean? What? I'm out of dice. What do you mean? Wait! When did I miss that? Now I feel dumb. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle toward the flickering hallway, toward the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You were thankful for the tip-off that a doctor was operating out of this place, but now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer on the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They have all made the long queue a test of your nerve, but your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. I'm not looking at the enforcer because I feel like we'll take that as me wanting to fight, so I'm gonna look inside. You lean against the doorframe and look into the apartment. The entryway is dark, punctuated by the green indicators of stacks of sealed containers. You lean in and see amber light filtering through a far doorway, screened with plastic sheeting beyond which blurred shapes move. The slap of the enforcer's palm against the doorway jerks you awake. Wait your turn, he growls. See, I figured if I peeked in, he was gonna get mad at me, but if I looked at him, he was gonna get mad at me. So I don't know. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch a distant voice. Send the next one in, Toshiro. The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through a dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheeting on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor-to-ceiling transparent panel gives a full view of the bright market sealed roof, the buzzing traffic above, and for a moment, you are transfixed by the motion. Ah, that's so cool. Come sit, calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turned away, replacing the plastic sheeting over the frame of a simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns, and as they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and then quickly regain their composure. Please sit. They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns, a compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye, remain still, please. Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. How long have you been on station? They ask, the scanner still to their eye. I don't know if I've been on station a few cycles. It's been like one? Well, I guess a few cycles. They nod. It's good you came to me. They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. I'm going to start by assuming you don't know anything. They take your arm and roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. Your body is dying. They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. SN-ARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose. To prevent bodies like yours, frames, as they call it, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping, they built in a process of so-called planned obsolescence. Thinking about it, what's the point of putting, copying people's minds into robots and then, having them be workers? Because then they're gonna want more and, more likely to want to escape. Why not just make the robots just robots, Frames decay rapidly, but not regularly injected when not regularly injected with stabilizer. One that SN-ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yes. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Sabine says, and you are unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or for everything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you, aren't classified as people in any of the surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and SN-ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then silence gives way to tension. You stare at their back, willing them to say anything. Say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside. You nod. He works for my benefactor, Yatagan. They are influential in the low end. They give me the space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up Their enforcers tend to their implants, sew up their wounds, they look away. So you don't get paid for it, even though you're doing everything? Biadagan has connections, smugglers from the Starboard Belt, mercenaries working for corporations on Ember. They can source the stabilizer. Maybe you'll have a better chance. It'll be expensive. Sabine sets down their slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous. And it'll be expensive, but I think we can do it. I want to say thank you, but also, why are you helping me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face dappled by the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. You nod and leave. Sabine's still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face. But the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Glad I didn't miss that. Okay. Whoop. Well, I have no energy, so I need to rest. And cycle. I need to eat too. Oh no, I'm starving! This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station, the shifting, skeletal ring, surrounds you. For a moment, you are gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. And the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging at the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange, and then extensions, as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes. They connect to you. You see the station. No, you feel the station, like a web of textures, smooth black liquid. I won't touch it. You find a point in the station, and you connect to it, pulse through it, follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering. As you do, things occur to you, things you can't possibly know. You reach out to try to grasp them, to try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling pulling at you insistently, as if it were a small child. Somehow, it is pulling in two different directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back to this trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours at all. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second, and you feel it waiting there, the station. Splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored, and then it is gone. Okay, because I'm starving, this allows you to gather energy. Does this restore that? Or does it restore that? I think this is the energy. I'm gonna try it. Oh, sick! Huh. I fed myself. Perfect. I'm not starving anymore. Okay. Guess I'll go help this guy. I don't have much else to do. I think this is just the cycles need to pass, yeah. Okay. Well, actually, I'm gonna leave off here. And when we come back, I think I'll help this guy. I know I can get myself energy now, so that's really good. I'm really enjoying the game so far. I'm really hoping I don't get the character killed. But here's to hoping I don't. But I'm really enjoying it so far. Super intrigued. I hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!